1 second. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to get the co-host and my guest on the show today. Um, Hold on 1 second. Okay, goes the co-host.
Yo,
Yo, bro, I'm trying to get him in the room.
what's good? What's good? What's good?
Ain't much, ain't much. You know, us back at it, episode 9. About to get him going. We got
Friday
to get him in the
Talks,
room.
episode 9.
Get JJ Jones in the room. Somebody share the I've sent the DM link to him, so he just has to take it. Yeah, he just has to take the link. My bad, everyone else. I seen y'all try to get in the room. Damn, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna have to get. Alright, this is how I'm gonna have to be for right now. Can we get JJ Jones in the room? I'm gonna send it again, bro. Um, you able to send stuff out?
Mm-hmm.
Can you send it to him? I'm doing it too, just in case. I'm just saying, just in case mine ain't going through.
Um,
Okay, hold on. Now I have to get back. Let me get back.
I don't think I can
There
send.
we
I don't
go. There
think I
we
can.
go. I got him. I got him. I got him.
Yo,
Yo.
what's going on, brother?
Um,
Um,
volume.
Can you hear me?
yeah,
Righteous. Let me
there you
get this
go.
My
popping
brother.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, let me 1 second before we do start this up real quick. 1 second, 1 second.
Yeah.
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
What's going on, man? I'm look good, good.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
How's it going over there?
Everything good. Everything good.
Look, that's dope. That's dope.
I have to get this show started.
For sure. Yes, sir. Hold on.
Alright.
Oh,
Let
people
the
see
host
me.
get itself together.
Yeah. You know me.
Look, don't feel bad.
Um,
Look, I'm over here. I'm over here adjusting too, because this is new. This is new for me.
That's all
right.
right.
So,
It's new
um,
for all of us.
welcome
It's the gear.
everybody.
It's the gear, though. I see y'all.
Welcome everybody. Let me start this off right. Welcome,
That's right. That's right.
everybody. This is GW. underscore anxiety underscore talks. I'm your host Nate with my co-host D Hayes. All right, it's your boy Nate with my boy D Hayes. We here with a special guest in the building, JJ Jones. Give it up.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Now, before we get into anything, we gotta run this off right. So, part and self, you know, we come with our notes and all of that. So,
Right.
today's definitely a special day. We got my boy got so much accolades that it's gonna take two of us to read this because my boy been putting in pain, y'all. Give it up for my boy putting in pain. So share the live, share the live, share the live, share the live. Run with us, man. Uh-oh. Shout out to Juan Rivera. Salute, salute, salute. Got something special on the way for y'all too. Let's get him back in here. Let's get him back in here. How can we get him back in here, guys? Please, somebody tell him get him back in here. Okay, I heard something. There we go. No doubt. All right, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what happened.
No doubt. All right, so let's get into that, man. JJ Jones, also known as the maestro of hip-hop, deemed so by hip-hop legend Sabu of Zulu Nations. The cosmic force for his sultry Barry White-like voice, undeniable bars, quotable punchlines. Facts. JJ Jones was born in the Bronx, New York, birthplace of hip-hop. He started his career very early, writing his first song, earning professional writing credits. At the age of 14, a songwriter, he written for artists at Atlantic Records, titled The Key. Y'all get The Key. Check it out. From there, Jones would take on dance for several years, entering an entertainment-based high school of performing arts. Salute, my brother. Before picking up his pen again and professionally joining alongside his siblings to form Cement Boot Records music group, which would go on to be recognized by artists like 50 Cent, landing on the up-and-coming 1-800 Billboard charts and Hot 97 Who's Next cover page. Coast to Coast mixtape winners. Get him, D.
Alumni on the Indie Top 100 and MD Top 50 mixtapes, open for artists such as Lil Mo, T.S. Madison, Obi Trice, Corey Guns, and Lil Pump at South by Southwest on the Candy Pen sponsored stage, receiving a gold plaque for over 1 million plays on SoundCloud. J. Jones has since gone into solo endeavors as the group has taken hiatus. JJ has 6 singles under his belt and 2 videos which are doing very well in numbers. The singles titled Interlude, Get a Bag, Walk Through, Digital Wave, Why You Mad, and Say Less, which is the latest release in video in preparation for video preparation for release. JJ is also an owner of a cleaning business, Just That Clean LLC. Shout out to them.
Right.
And he also has his own line of edible deodorant for your private parts. Private parts. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Look, you see the product all the way in Alaska?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Get you some. What are you doing? Get you some. Right.
Private pits, private. Yeah, that's what it's called, deodorant, Jones.
Private pits, private parts.
There you go. Yeah, Excuse me.
I got you.
Apologies on that.
You good? It's a tongue twister. I got you.
He was also hired as head stylist on the set of an unreleased movie, Zane. He has styled rappers from both Atlanta and LA on major labels, which can't be disclosed as of him.
But you know, my boy is yo, bro. You are working on top of working. You get any sleep?
That's
you get
fact.
any sleep?
You said, do I get any sleep?
Yeah.
Barely. Like.
Oh man, how's it like being a mogul?
I mean, as much sleep as I possibly can get, considering, you know, my brain is constantly working on my next venture or
Right.
trying to figure out how I could upscale and elevate the things that I've already accomplished and how I could, build on top of those things to, you know, elevate more.
Right.
So
Right.
Right.
I sleep as much as I possibly can, but my brain really don't allow me to do too much. It don't allow me to do too much sleeping.
How's it feel to be a young mogul in the game, up and coming, and juggling all of these business ventures that you got going?
Honestly, it feels good. It feels good. It don't get me wrong, it's stressful, but it feels good to just hearing you run off some of those things because like I don't even take because I'm constantly in it, I don't really take time to acknowledge some of those accomplishments, like
Right.
Right.
or like rest in them, which that's something that I'm trying to work on is enjoying moments as they happen. Like
Mm-hmm.
like I said, hearing back some of those things, I'm like, dang, that's a lot of stuff. Like that's a
It
lot of
is.
stuff. That's a lot of stuff going on that I don't even realize that I've got so much
I
going
mean,
on.
you're working.
Yeah, but it feels good. It feels good.
Before
It's good to like be able to be inspiring to other people who come from backgrounds such as I do and such as you. You know what I'm saying? You guys as well.
Right.
Coming from those backgrounds where things don't really look like you can achieve some of these like some of these awards and these accolades, like it
absolutely.
feels good. It feels real good.
Walk us into how did this become a thing? Like, how did you know you was gonna make this that product? Because this is fire, by the way. We love it. I suggest y'all go get it. Me and my lady use it. You and your lady could use it. You heard? Get it. This is
Okay,
unbiased
look,
right here. This for everybody.
I actually
Right.
I got some sitting beside me in the back. Um, that actually became like the product became it came to life from an idea. Like so, TMI, like my thighs rub when I walk. Like I'm not fat or big, but
Got
my
you.
thighs can like constantly rub. So because my thighs are big, so I used to at some point buy deodorant, like to just kind of protect those layers of skin.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also like a germaphobe, so I wasn't using deodorant from my underarms to put down there. I was buying two deodorants. That gets
Right.
pricey.
Right.
That's costly. So I thought like, dang, I should actually like make some deodorant. Like, so I looked up ways to make natural deodorant, which caused me to go into further research. And in further research, I found that there's really no African American, like no African American people behind a natural line of deodorants.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
So I was like, dang, that's start
We got
digging
Right.
into some more research. I'm like, okay, like one day I posted like a it wasn't necessarily a survey, but I posted a comment, you know, how many people like use deodorant in other areas other than their underarms. And like I don't think I've ever had a post with so much activity. Like
got
Right.
you.
ladies saying
Right.
that they use it under their breast, guys in the groin area, like people do, but then of course you have some people like you using your deodorant, like I use
Right.
baby powder, I use this, I use that, so
Right.
I got to looking up formulas of how to actually make deodorant, and I made these little, they were like about this big, little individual packets of test samples, and
Got you.
gave them out to people, and everybody loved it. They was like, some people were saying that they were using it for like lip gloss and
Right.
other things other than deodorant, which so it became like something I was like, oh, it could also be multi use and multi purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I added a hint of confectionery sugar, so that's what makes it edible. Like, so there's enough sugar in it to where it's not effective to the skin. Like, it's gonna do pretty much an exfoliating, but also keep you dry in a sense.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
makes
And it's
sense.
gonna taste good. Like, that was my main thing. Like, people are putting deodorant in their private parts, like, and in their private areas. If, let's say, for whatever reason, you out and about, and you may so run into some activity, you and your wife, you and your lady, y'all
Right.
may
No
want to be
doubt.
spontaneous. Y'all may want to be spontaneous. If she got deodorant under the boobs and stuff like that, or you got deodorant in areas like that, don't necessarily taste good.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
One thing I want to point out that good brother Juan in the comments is saying definitely I see it too. He said there's a 1 million plaque behind you. Is that you? And that's something I guess we all want to know. Is that your plaque right there behind you?
that's my. I wish I
Salute.
could take it off the wall. That's my. That is my plaque from
Talk to
Spotify.
us about that.
That is for 1 million plays
Wait,
over. That's
we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. You could still go into about the your deodorant. We're
yeah.
gonna get
Tell you
into that
about.
a
I
little
was
bit.
gonna say y'all can get into the plaque.
Right.
That's the deodorants. Yeah, like they started as an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um, After trialing, like I said, everybody just claimed was like, oh, so in love with the product. So I decided to, instead of making one individually for myself, I was like, I could box and make some money off of this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and furthermore, like I said, there's really nobody within that market of our skin tone, our complexion, our people. So
Got you. But before we get into more of the accolades, right? You know what the show is about. You know how we come together, we go through this experience, we go through the healing parts of this experience. We also give jewels and gems to the audience and those who don't have a voice who follow us with this experience. So without further ado, I wanted you to walk us through too about with accommodating all these accomplishments you done had made for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How did anxiety and depression play a factor in those parts of your life?
um just being like just being anxious to achieve, like I feel like that's kind of always been heavily weighed on me. Like I've always kind of wanted to overachieve and go further than the next, not necessarily the next, because I'm not in competition with anybody, but like just going further than myself. Like
Got
I
you.
can
Right.
always push myself a little bit further to go a little bit further, and I'm gonna always try to do that. Like, so I guess that's where the anxiety really came from. But I realized having anxiety like real young, like maybe I want to say ninth grade, ninth
Got you.
grade. Um, I had my first real anxiety attack.
Was it like a
Mm-hmm.
panic attack or was you a straight up anxiety attack? Like,
Like curled in a corner, like can't breathe, didn't know what was going on.
Wow.
So of course,
wow,
like
or
Now, what would you
that
say?
that
I'm
happened,
sorry.
like just kind of not knowing what was going on. I guess like being terrified of what was happening and not knowing what was happening, it just heightened
Right.
and made it even worse. Like, so it was just like I couldn't calm myself down from it. So
mm,
I guess that was when I really realized like I had anxiety.
got you.
Right. That's what
But
I was
those,
gonna ask. Was it
yeah,
from like a traumatic situation or just from just difficult situations?
I don't think it was from anything traumatic because like I really hadn't had any like too many situations that were like overly traumatizing. Of course, I've
Mm-hmm.
been in some traumatic situations, I wouldn't have considered them to be traumatic then because I was a child and didn't necessarily know, but know now as an adult that those things were traumatizing and would have been
Right.
traumatizing to a child. Those were just our living environments. You understand? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, growing up in the hood, it was just that was what it was.
Right.
Like, you were bound to see junkies, you were bound to see fights, you were bound to see guns, you were
Right.
that normal
Right.
ways of living. But I don't think it was anything traumatic that set it off. Like, I just remember being inside of school. It's making me nervous. Like, not making me nervous, but it's making me I'm like shaking talking about it. Okay, so
Reliving it, you reliving it.
yeah. So I remember being in high school and like my first time being in there, like my first not the first time being in there, like my first day or whatever. I had been there
Got you.
some days, but like one day going into school, I guess everybody was in class already, so the building was pretty much not necessarily empty, but fairly. The hallways weren't cluttered,
Mm-hmm.
and
Got you.
just feeling so small in that big school, like, cause you know how big Lehman is. Lehman is huge,
Right, right. It
like,
is.
so just feeling so small in that big space, like it it caused me to like panic, and I don't know from there, like that just caused me to. I feel like it caused me to not spiral as far as the anxiety, but like it shifted the way I moved because I now knew that I had something going on that I didn't understand
Right.
what it was and or how to talk about it with somebody, you know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So my ways of coping with that were just to like I isolated a lot. Um, I feel like another way of coping was to please other people, like
Mm.
make sure that everything around me was kind of cohesive and
Mm-hmm.
everyone's happy and there's nothing traumatic going on within my space, you know, like
Did you ever
That's
find
crazy.
yourself like while dealing with it having this type of personal breakdown, like, all right, enough is enough. You know what I mean? I want better. I want to feel better. I want to do better. And like, when did you find out like you like wanted to control that narrative and say, all right, I'm now you're gonna have to either work with me rather than take a hold of me. You know what I mean? Because like when I suffered it at the beginning, it took a hold of me, and it took a while for me to learn how to, and it still does for me to learn how to. I work with it. I make it work around what I'm doing. So that way you can go
Mm-hmm.
back to the things you love to do rather than just be abstracted. You know what I mean?
hmm.
Right.
I'm sorry, somebody knocked on the door and just threw me off.
You good.
But I feel like I've kind of coasted with it for so many years up until realizing that it was a problem or needed to be tackled. Like I said, I didn't really get into sort of like assisting myself with help until my adult years.
Got you.
But as a child, like I said, or teenager into adulthood, I did what teenagers or adults do, which is shut myself off from the world, not talk about things, just kind of, like I said, it caused me to move differently than I feel like I would have had I not been suffering through anxiety. Like,
Got you.
Yeah.
but I didn't get to channel into those things until adulthood. Like I said, realizing that, damn, that's something that's not good. Like, of course, once I realized having panic attacks or that I would be in a space to have anxiety, I kind of made sure to not let that happen, if that makes sense. Like, I'm now like I'm avoiding certain things. I'm not in certain spaces, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm in certain spaces and something happens dramatic, and I then remove myself really quick, and I have to go someplace and collect myself quickly.
Yeah.
Which collect myself doesn't really mean breathing exercise and I'm counting
Right.
it, and like collecting myself could really be going to another space and breaking down, because like that's typically what will happen.
Got you.
Right. Right. That's
So
crazy because you know,
yeah.
as we all feel we experience this, and we've been living with it for so long, and we get older and we find pinpoints of certain things we didn't realize before. But I definitely feel like it when you have an anxiety, if you experience anxiety, it comes with mood swings also. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you could just get in a mood where you just don't want to be bothered, and it could just be
Oh
for no
yeah.
reason. Like, and you know, later on in the day you'll realize like, dag, like, you know, I was acting a little crazy today, or but you know, again, that's
Oh
something
yeah.
that we got to come into
Oh
contact
yeah.
with and just, you know, understand the different things that we don't even see in ourselves. You know what I mean?
For sure. For sure.
Um
Can
yeah.
somebody see? I can't see chats. I could just see that there's stuff going on in the chat. I can't see it, but
Yeah.
Thank you, King. Thank you so much, King. Juan says, good to see black men speaking on their mental health and feelings. These are real kings. Bless you, my brother. Thank you so much.
oh yes, appreciate that.
Super,
Yeah.
super. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because man, it's so easy. Sorry, JJ. It's
Oh
so
no, you
easy.
good.
I just wanted to say it's so easy to shine light on negative things on a daily basis. And some of us, not us in per se, but in general, some of us do. We utilize our platform to bash or spread negativity. And this platform is far from that. We're a non judgmental platform. And we here, we celebrate, we uplift, and we want to bring more awareness. You know what I mean? Because we want to lower the suicide rate. We want people to feel more in tune with what we got going on. And plus, this community is not just a me thing, or it's a we thing. It's our community. It's a place where we can
For
come
sure.
together, where
For
we
sure.
feel a part of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Where if somebody
Word.
has something they going through, we may not have a phone book full of people. We say, well, damn, I can call him and explain, because people don't want to hear what we got to say. Well, this is the community that wants to hear what you got to say. This is that community. You don't have to have no worries. You know what I mean? This is the community, like the club. You go there, I could close my eyes and vibe to the music because I'm comfortable with around the people that I'm around. So that's what this community is supposed to be, no different from.
I want to thank y'all for this platform, because there was nothing like this growing up. You know, like,
Word.
and things may have been a lot different for me or a lot different for us and others, had there been some place where we can go and discuss things of this nature with people of like minds. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People who are
Thank
who
you.
look like one another. You know what I'm saying? Like, to just kind of have that open space for communication, because that wasn't a thing growing up, which is a lot of the reasons as to why I feel like we end up in a lot of the situations that we ended up in, because that anxiety was created, I feel, due to the fact that I had no outlet to it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm,
I I couldn't tell anybody, or if there was somebody I could tell, it was gonna make me feel weird to explain to somebody that I feel weird.
right,
Um like, oh, this is making me, they tell you, man up.
right,
Like
Mm-hmm.
that, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like, poke your chest out, man up, take care of your business, like move accordingly, and you do so as a young black man. Like,
yes, sir.
you you
Right.
definitely do so as a young black man. You don't really have the opportunity to sort of feel your emotions or express them, because then you're then labeled as weak. You're then labeled
Mm-hmm.
as,
Mm-hmm.
for some, in some instances, you're labeled as, oh, that's gay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and
Right.
growing up, that's a horrible thing to experience for somebody who's not. You know what I'm saying? To then be pointed at, bashed, or made to feel a certain way because they have feelings, which we all do. We're human. Like,
Right.
it's just that as a man, especially in the urban community, we're not really able to express those things with one another because it's then looked at as, oh, you being soft. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
Like,
why
well, with
we
the
wanted to
like, I'm in tune, bro. Like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
soft at all. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
we
just
wanted
with
to
you and
change
I
the
know what's going
cycle.
on. Yeah, the
We
cycle
wanted
got
to
to change
change the
Right.
cycle.
for
They
sure.
got
And
this notion
this
of men.
platform is, I feel like y'all are gonna blow just based off of the fact that y'all
I
are
appreciate that.
open to having this dialect. Like,
Right. You gotta
yo,
You know
understand,
what
you
it
know,
is?
a lot
several
of
windows
people
and several doors.
a lot of people don't even get to the point to explain themselves or to speak about anything. You know, they last resort is just, you know, taking themselves out. So, you
Yeah,
know, to even have a platform to even come and hear somebody, just hearing somebody else's pain can maybe ease yours a little bit to make you feel a little better, like, you know what I mean? So that's why
Right.
I always, you know, thank my boy Nate for bringing me on the platform and, you know, helping him assist the people, because
it's a
I
Man,
was
I
one of them
appreciate it.
people, you know what I mean? So
it's a huge help. Like, it's a huge help, and it's even right now in me being here, like, this is a help to me. Like,
Right.
it's still because learning and growing, we still learning and growing. So there may be things that you do that I can take and vice versa. Like,
Absolutely.
that'll mold and meld us to being better people,
And
or
plus, I
dealing with
wanted
our
to shed
anxieties
light.
a lot better.
My apologies. I wanted to use this platform to shed light and say, let's break the cycle where people think us as men and men too. I want to exclude women because certain women have this notion of that, yeah, we are your security. We secure our better halves or whatever it may be. But us as men, we feel things as well. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have the
hmm
best people to explain that to. Because like you just said, when you would say certain things, it'd be frowned upon or looked down like that ain't tough.
And
Well,
we
what is the
also,
definition of tough? Because the people who are the strongest had people to uplift them.
yeah,
Diddy's a
and we
mogul. Diddy got a yoga constructor. You know what I'm saying?
that's
People
look
see
that
people.
when the bag changes, then things kind of, you able to
Righteous one. I
you're
agree.
able to pay for those things that are good, are for the betterment of your health. Like, that's why these people are living 60, 80, looking 20. Like,
Right.
they're able to pay for a different lifestyle. And when you don't have that sort of a lifestyle, and that's something that you want, that's also a tear down in itself. Like, if you're not really chasing after doing it, you know what I'm saying? If you're just like, oh, I want that, I would love to
hmm
have that. I wish I could, I wish I could, but then not really throwing the irons in the fire to make it burn.
Right.
Right.
So
It
you
get
agree with me? Do you agree with us when we say that mental health awareness isn't being spoken about at a higher or frequent level?
so. Here's my thing with mental health awareness. I feel like it's become almost like the, forgive me, but it's almost become like the Black Lives Matter thing. Like, we can discuss mental health all day long. There's a mental health awareness month. There's a march. There's a parade. There's a this. There's a that. You know what I mean? But, like, the discussion isn't being had. It's just like we're talking about
hmm
how bad it is. We're making mention of how bad it is. It's like we're throwing it in the air without actually doing anything about it because there are no platforms like this. This is the first time, like, I honestly, so of course, I, like with anything, I'm a researcher, so I done my research and I researched anxiety talks.
hmm
Thank you.
Like, so you mean to tell me there's quotes? Yeah, there's also, so watch out, because there is there's a white lady that does another anxiety talk podcast, but it hasn't picked up. Y'all will be the ones because this is for you. I just already want y'all to know that.
Got you. Got you. We appreciate it.
Because this is what it's for. You know,
Right.
this is a platform for us that needs to be had for us. Um, there's a couple of posts on Instagram that they're inspirational quotes about anxiety, but y'all are the first platform to open up this sort of a platform with this type of a talk like that, and it needs to be had. So
I appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all for having this. I appreciate y'all for having me. Like,
and it's like my thing. What I want to see out of it is people getting the awareness point from it, as far as like, because there's a lot of friends push people away because of certain things they don't understand. So it could be a friend reaching out, trying to speak, and they don't want to receive it at that point, so that friend is pushed away. You know what I'm saying? So this could be a platform. Even if people don't have anxiety, they could come here and see different signs and what other people who do have anxiety and depression and all of that stuff go through, so they can look out for that in their friends. You know what I mean? They could see certain signs in their friends, and it could be better than them to help.
It's hard to it's hard to adapt to people. It's hard for people to kind of adapt to us. And like you said, it would give a window to somebody who doesn't really know what's going on. Like, dang, maybe my friend is, going through something. Maybe they pressures up. Maybe I need to be calm on them and not maybe so harsh. And it's also delivery. Like, with sometimes when something's delivered a certain way, it's like I don't really know how to take that, and it'll heighten me to act a certain way. Like, oh my gosh, something will set me off and send me enraged. Like, I don't necessarily need that. And if you're my friend, you would know, hey, I'm not going to do this because it's a trigger and a offset to this person.
Absolutely.
Make them do this. Like, it's going to send them up the ladder versus down. Like.
Me and D Hayes had this conversation in one of the episodes, man, about how anxiety doesn't even have to be triggered only just by you. It could be triggered by what you feed your brain, what you watch, what you intake, like what you hear, what you eat. It could also be the people in your life. Certain individuals can create anxieties, but like you just said, they can put you in a position where they know this would affect you and still do it. Like, you know what I mean?
So some people are button pushers. Some people know what's going to set you off. Some people will do it just because. Like, I've had, and I don't necessarily want to consider them friends, but I've had people in my life who have told me, like, oh yeah, I know that I know it makes you feel this way, but like I do it because I know that it makes you feel like that. Like, that's not a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not somebody that I really want within my space. If you're gonna know something makes me feel away and still continue to do it because like you want to see me triggered, like, yeah, I don't need that type of energy around. Like, that's like, it comes with age and it comes with growth and wisdom and such. Like, tackling on all of these things that I have going on, like, the anxiety is through the roof because I want everything to go a certain way. I want things to go well. Like, if you're ever putting yourself out there, you want things to go well. Like, I don't do it because I want it to go wrong. So that's where the anxiety creeps in. But I feel like it also, like, as in my adult years, what my anxiety does is it causes a different type of pressure on me, to where I now have to achieve. Like, I have to. Like, I'm not. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, pressure bust pipes, that sort of thing. Like, I'm under a certain pressure to the competition with myself. So it could either be something that hinders me and takes me down. So it's like a double-edged sword. It could either hinder me and take me down, or it can boost and push me up, which it does a little bit of both.
Right.
So take us for the people who are relating to you and us as well with no voice, who's listening right now. Let's take us to good time. Let's take us to how Mr. JJ Jones made it on the up and coming 100 Billboard charts. Take us to that energy that helps you get through anxiety. What's that energy like that gets my boy on a 100 Billboard chart? Are we talking to 100 top 100 Billboard charts maker? You understand? We in the presence of greatness right now. How do we get to the presence of greatness?
Like focus and dedication. Like also my anxiety's released through my art. So my pen, I'm always writing. That's like my escape. I'm always writing. So whether it be writing poetry, whether it be just jotting down little notes here and there, I'm constantly writing. So
is music your therapy?
Music, yeah, I was getting ready to say music's just been so therapeutic. So
got you.
That was actually what landed me in a space to create the music that placed me on Billboard charts. And shout out to my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad. Those were
shout out Cement Boot.
Cement Boot as a whole. Those were inspos. Like these are people who inspired me to achieve these things. We achieved these things together. So like now as a solo artist, like I said, my challenges now are to one up those things, and that's hard to do. Like that's really hard. It's really hard to one up yourself. Like I'm trying to.
You got a lot of and I love it.
You know. But do it for those people. Like I literally like I do this for my family. I don't know if y'all can see this. Where am I?
There we go.
Yeah, family on deck. Always. That's what I do it for. Like
that's what's up.
The fam. I want the people that come after me, my nieces, my nephews, their kids. Like I want them to eat comfortably, like, and not have to go through traumas and anxieties that we had placed on us based on our location, based on, you know, our parents not necessarily being in the know because of their parents not being in the know. Like we have too much information. Like we have connection to too much information for our kids to not have money, our kids to not grow businesses, our kids, you know what I'm saying? Like here I am in my elder years, my later years, like
with a 1 million plaque behind you.
Thank you. Yes, I mean,
with a 1 million plaque behind them, people. Get in tune.
Thank you. My hat is all crooked. Last night was wild, y'all. So that's why if y'all can see me constantly adjusting my hat, I feel like it looks weird. But it was stepped and smushed on, and last night was lit. But
for the people that don't know, you know, I just started watching. You know, this is episode 9, Anxiety Talks podcast with JJ Zones.
Oh yeah.
Get the merch. GW Anxiety Talk.
Get the merch. Get in my DM. Get the merch.
Get the merch.
Yeah.
For the merch.
After the show, we on IG at
After
Anxiety _ After Hour Talk.
Oh yeah.
After Hour is the After Hour. Hey. Right now, you now tuned in with JJ Jones. We here live, sir. We about to get in tune. Let's get in tune some more of this, man. Let's get in tune, man. Let's get the people informed, man. So before you became this young mogul that you are today, right? We were just transitioning from you going through the anxieties. So now take us through the exiting anxiety moments. You know, you may have them, but they're not as strong as the beginning stages. So at this stage right now in your life, like, how did you get to that point? What was it like?
it's still like it still happens, but it happens rarely. You know, as far as the having anxiety attacks, I still feel anxious a lot, and
Got you.
I'm not medicated in any way. So, you know, and of course, diagnosed through therapists, like, yes, you have anxiety, you're anxious, but as I'm told, these are all things that come with the territory as far as to the things that I want to take on and want to achieve in life. So I should just be prepared for that. Like, and oh, here's a pill, like
Right.
by your
Right.
choice, or you know, if you would like. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't like, because I no thanks. I don't know what that's going to do to me or make me feel,
Right.
or how that's going to affect my creativity. So I would rather not. So I opt to just take the therapy, which is just to have somebody to talk to who's a neutral source. Amazing to have somebody who doesn't judge you, and I recommend it to anybody, not just any black man. I do recommend it to black men especially, but
Mm-hmm.
I recommend it to anybody because I feel like just having that type of a conversation where there's no judgment in place, like
Absolutely.
where you can just tell a person anything, like that's what this person's there for. Like, they
Mm-hmm.
get paid lots of money because they get paid lots of money. Um,
Right.
they get paid lots of money for you to just kind of tell them anything under the sun that you may be feeling, and that's what's missing from our community. Like,
Right.
the openness of feeling, being able to openly feel. Like, I feel like
Hmm.
if that was the case and you were able to do such a thing, there'd be less killing, there'd be less suicide, there'd be less crime overall. People wouldn't be out in a sense to harm one another because, hey, brother, X, Y, and Z. Like,
Right.
Right. Right.
because a lot of things can be diluted with conversation. Like, they could be diffused with a conversation. It doesn't always have to be such a heightened situation. And a
So
lot
for
of
the
times situations be up for no reason because people won't talk about how they feel. Like,
Exactly. Yep. We gotta be each other outlets, man.
yeah,
hmm hmm
absolutely.
be there for one
Instead of
another, man.
instead of instead of feeling like a burden, you know what I mean? Because we gonna always have our own daily personal life going on. So I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
And
and that's
have a
for
go to.
everybody.
Have that go to family, friend, somebody you really always. I can't stress this enough, people. It's okay to go get help. It's not okay to know that you're not okay and you do nothing. It's okay to not feel okay, but go seek help. Speak to somebody you really close to. Reach out to a family, a friend, somebody you really trust who has your faith in their hands. You know what I mean? Like you really favor or trust. And so, invent, go get help. Just please don't just sit there and know you need help and do nothing,
I
you
would
know?
say reach out and talk to somebody, but I would definitely, definitely say get some professional
Right,
help under the belt as well. Of course, first going to somebody that you're comfortable with to say, hey, I feel X, Y, and Z, and maybe that person can guide you down a path to feeling a little bit better.
right.
Either
I
they
do it.
guide you down the path to feeling
I
better.
do it.
I was gonna say,
So,
hey, I do it all the time. If I need to talk to somebody, or I feel like there are people within my life that I can pick up a phone and just be like, hey, today's been rough. You know, it's been rough for these reasons. This is what's going on. Kind of talk me off a ledge, because sometimes,
hmm
as any human is, we going through life, we coursing, and we get hit blow after blow, and the next thing we do is you can either fold, or
right.
you can triumph and champion those situations and elevate yourself to another level.
right.
Absolutely. I got a life coach. I got a
hmm
behavior mental coach. I, I got a doctor. I got all of that, man. And we need
I
it. You know why? Because this
I
is what
just
makes
picked
us what we are today.
I just picked up a life coach a week ago,
Congrats, brother. Congrats on that.
and
It works.
necessary, necessary, because like sometimes those pep talks that we don't hear that we need from any individual. If you need to hear a pep talk in your down moments, having that life coach to just kind of pick you up by the bootstraps and be like, nah, man, you got this.
Right.
Like, this is what you're here for. You know, you're supposed to be doing this for this reason. You know, settle down. Don't feel too heightened in certain situations. Tone it down. Scale you back. A lot of us need that because we're reactionary. Like immediately we're like, we want to react off everything.
Absolutely.
That's human nature. So it's not something that I don't think we can necessarily change, but I think we can change the way that we go about reacting to certain things. Like your reaction could be to talk to someone. Your reaction could be to, you know, go back and calm yourself, like before reacting, because you're gonna react regardless. But like how you go about it is stuff going
right.
Yeah, how you go about the main thing of importance.
We're not as big as you guys are yet, but I believe you do know who my life coach is. You remember Jonathan Marty Marr? I had him on the show from where we come from.
Yeah,
Jonathan Marty. From the Define podcast. Yep. So that's my life coach. Man, I'll be on my back
and
stressed out sometimes.
Somebody who, now that's a great life coach to have, because now
he's inspiring,
he's inspiring. We all come from this. Now we all come from the same neighborhood, so like we know what that's like. Like we know we've lived that life. We all grew up together. We know the backgrounds. So to know Marty's backstory and to know where Marty's at today, he did not allow anything to stop him. Like
right.
Regardless of what it was, he wasn't going to be defeated, and that's a lot. That's like, he inspires me. Like I see Marty through. I share his stuff all the time, like because that's inspiring. Like
salute to the Define podcast and Jonathan Marty Marr.
Define podcast. For real, if you've been shot so many different angles in life, like that could have taken you down routes in which I tell my parents all the time now as an adult, like, thank you for just kind of rerouting our lives, uprooting us from the neighborhood and taking us to experience a different lifestyle of living, because our lives were getting ready to be headed in different directions. Like I truthfully, I feel like had we still been there, you know, just kind of lingering around on the block, we would have been in gangs, possibly not here. I feel like my sister would have been pregnant at a young age. Like, just I could already envision where our lives were going, and they weren't going down the path. So like, I try to give them their flowers and thank them for showing us a different way of life. And with the Define podcast and Marty, like I remember him losing his hearing. Like
he went deaf. Yep.
Like we were like, I feel like we were like either playing tag or something or manhunt, and like I just remember it being a day where like everybody's just like, what? Like that doesn't make sense. But it's not for it to make sense to us. Like he's touched, he's gifted. Like that's how he's able to move through certain things. And I feel like we all have, it's called favor. Like we all have favor over us because we have friends that are not here. Like that aren't that to me, those anxieties, those depressions, those things took them under because they ended up on those other paths. Like
absolutely.
So be thankful for favor. Like we definitely have favor over us because we could have been anywhere. Like,
but right now we on this.
I'm here on
GW.
I'm here on your podcast
with an M sitting behind you in the plaque right now, with an M sitting there.
With an M plaque behind me, talking about the homie with his podcast and his success and his achievements, and that's what life is about. Like, it's a
celebrating.
We have to celebrate each other. We have to celebrate each other. We have to have these spaces where these conversations can be had, because I feel like even when you reached out to me, it was like, who knew you had anxiety, like, or that you suffered through types of depression, or like you always smiling, you always helping somebody, you always. I've never seen you in a down state, and that's also like I explained to Lee the other day. That's a form of masking. Like, you're not going to be able to see me depressed if I don't have time to look depressed, feel depressed, or seem depressed, or sad, or under any sort of duress, if I'm actually in a happy space, or having to be happy and put on this face for somebody else that's going through something that's worse than what I'm going through. And I always try to look at that as a thing as well. Like, yeah, I'm going through this, and that's sort of what picks me up too. Yeah, I'm going through this, but somebody could be going through it so much worse. So and so is going through it so much worse. So let me go over here and smile and cheer them up and get them ready. And then it's almost like I don't give myself time to be in a space of sad. But that, as I'm told, is a form of masking. Like, you then hide those feelings and tuck them away until you burst. Like,
and then it becomes and it happens the wrong way too.
Yeah, and it be the wrong way. You have to talk. You have to be able to. One thing about even having these platforms, it's going to be hard for a lot of us to come up here and to talk about it anyway, because we don't necessarily know how to do that. We don't know how to have these conversations, because they've never been had before. Like, so this is all like like I said, it's all a new experience for all of us. I'm glad we're able to be with one another and taking this ride, because, like I said, thank y'all for having me, for real. Just being able to allow people to see me in a different light, so to speak, because, like you said, you didn't know. I
don't know you for having it, so this is new to me in the world.
Absolutely. And I'm somebody who D will call me if he's going through something. Like, and I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I'm talking
for real,
because we not accepting no low vibrations. We not doing low vibrations. We high vibrating only. Like, that's how we move.
Absolutely.
But he doesn't know that in some of them states he's calling and I'm vibrating low. I'm just like, damn, like, I feel bad today. But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not letting nobody else see me like that, because I'm gonna give them that light and that energy to move forward and progress, like, because that's gonna in turn allow me to move forward and progress. Like, so yeah.
Do you feel any of the pressure or the anxieties when you're doing these videos, like Get a Bag and Digital Wave and Why You Mad, Say Less? Is there like any pressure doing that, or even performing at these clubs that you be performing at?
So here's the thing. I love to be on stage. Stage is home for me. So I'm never in a state of anxiety or feeling nervous when it comes to grabbing the mic, getting on stage and doing my thing. Like, that's where I feel safe at. That's where I shine. That's where I'm comfortable. I love being on stage. Visuals, videos, preparation for visuals, videos, recording, releases, high anxiety, because I want everything to be a certain way. I'm very particular. That's why a lot of things of mine don't either get released, or I don't do certain things. Like, maybe you'll see that I've said I'm going to do something, and then you don't see or hear about it, because if it's not done the right way, I'm just not going to do it. Like,
Right.
I'm somebody who I want greatness. I don't want anything less. I don't want to lowball myself, and like I have big shoes to fill.
One M on the
I
plaque.
have big shoes to fill. Like coming from like I'm now a solo artist, but coming from a group that has such we've done some things. We've been recognized by some people. Like that's like even to this day, like still recognized by some people. Like who would DJ Jazzy Joyce hit me up on Instagram a week ago.
Shout out to DJ Jazz.
Shout out to DJ Jazzy Joyce. You doing your thing, like love your talent, keep going, just like kind of speaking light into me. Like I'm like, this is like, do you know who you are talking to me? Like telling me that I'm like so and then I kind of feel that's another thing that makes me feel anxious is like I'm shy. Like I'm very, very shy. Like outside of me being JJ Jones and being a outward personality and just like I'm very reserved and I'm very shy. If you don't know me, like if I don't get a good vibe, if I don't get to know you, if we, you know what I'm saying, I'm very much to myself. Like which I'm trying to work on is being more zen, more relaxed,
Right.
more out to people. It's just traumatic situations. Been in
Got
some,
you.
been in some situations where people have crossed lines, people have not been who they said they are, and I don't like. I just don't have time. I don't want to be sent somewhere that I don't want to go. I know that I
Right.
can. I know that my temper can take me sometimes, and I don't want to be taken by temper. So I try to be very, very mindful of that.
So now, this is a
That's dope.
platform of celebration, non-judgmental platform. We celebrate, we give people their flowers, man. I want to say I'm definitely we are anxiety's proud of you, man. We love what you got going on. I love what you do. Man, his brother's got his own deodorant, private pits, private parts. Get in tune with JJ Jones. DM him, get you a
Yes,
flavor, get you
DM me for
some.
purchases. They are
Um,
$11.99 each. They're really only on shelves right now at a celebrity boutique. Shout out to Shop the Pink Zebra.
shout
Little,
out, shout out.
shout out to Shop the Little Pink Zebra and Miss Honey over at East Little Five Points down here in Atlanta. It's a really, really dope shop with a bunch of Atlanta creatives and individuals that are like us, in
Right.
color and have businesses, clothes, gems and jewels and anything you
Bunch
can
of
kind of think
entrepreneurs.
of. There's a bunch of entrepreneurs. It's a really dope vibe and spot. They also host events and things out of that nature. I just want to shout them out real quick because they this is some place that I would have never imagined for my stuff to be in. Like I said, this was thought of as an idea
Got
and
you.
kind of just pew took off.
Right.
And they took a chance on me, and I'm now in a shop, which is dope. Like I get
Shout
invoices
out to that black
and
owned.
sales, and I like that. Like some money.
what
I
kind
like
of
that.
what kind of what kind of jewels you want to drop on the people who going through anxiety right now and they want to get to where you at right now today? What kind of gems and jewels could you drop for them?
I would say first and foremost to if you have an acknowledgement of it, to get it taken care of, like in the way that best suits you. First and foremost, like if it's going to talk to somebody who's close to you, if it's reaching out to a phone and calling it, emergencies, because the truth of the matter is people don't realize it. Mental health is it's an emergency. Like if you're at a place where you're feeling like you may harm yourself or you
Right.
may harm somebody else, like because of the way that you're feeling, you may want to pick up and contact somebody ASAP, like so that those
Right.
things don't happen and they're avoided. Um,
Absolutely.
I would say don't close off. As
Right.
I want to say that that's the main thing that we want to try to eliminate is that somebody goes into a space of feeling alone or feeling like they have to deal with something like this on their own, because there's platforms like this, there's people like myself, there's people like you, my fiance, there's people like Juan, who he's amazing as far as the pumping me back up into to being who I am, to want to rebuild, and he just does that for
Right.
Shout
anybody
out to Juan.
and anyone. Like he's just that type of a person. So there's people out here that care for others. Like, you
Right.
know, everybody's not out to get you. Everybody's not a bad person. There are some good people left, and reach out and find those good people in those spaces when you feel like that, where you if the world is crumbling down and you need some
Most
light and some
definitely.
upliftment. There are people that's what they do, that's who they are, like, and not even in the sense of get like do it for payment or do it for like just I genuinely am who I am because I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
Right.
somebody's going through something, if somebody's at a low space in their life, I'm gonna try everything in my powers to push them upward because that's just who I am. So there's people out there like that, and I say reach out to and find those people that genuinely care and take care of yourself.
Right.
And if you are
First
watching
and
back
foremost.
home, if you with us now, we appreciate you. We love you. We send nothing but love and blessings and peace your way. If you're gonna be on this GW Anxiety Talks later on, as far as capturing it, we still love you. Peace and love and blessings your way. We here, man. This is a non-judgmental platform. This is a group for not only
Right.
me, it's a group for you. It's an our thing, it's a we thing, it's not an our thing. You know what I mean? Let us know, man. Come share your story. JJ Jones dropping gems and bombs on him right now. One
Mm-hmm.
1 million on the plaque. I
Word
can't get
up.
over that. 1 million on the plaque. I gotta get a drop. I
Right.
gotta get a drop. You know what I mean? When I hit that, it just goes 1 million on the plaque. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Word, we gotta get that. But
Yeah.
let's get into it before we do get close to rapping. I want to get into it. What's next for JJ Jones? What's next?
What's next? I'm actually as of right now, I've just been building up my cleaning company. The
Fire.
so
Just
contract
that clean.
just that clean LLC. We in the Atlanta area. Book us, book us, book us. I've been actually searching into contracts, so that's been my main focus as of right now. But as far as to music, say less the video. I've got new visuals coming soon. I've got some photo
Fire.
shoots lined up next week and some planning in place for this Say Less video. And then from there, jumping back into the studio and creating some new heat, which I think people are gonna be really excited about my new layout and era of music because I'm not gonna allow myself to stick myself. I've been sort of stuck within a box. I feel because of my lyrical ability, that I've just been only focused so much on my lyrics and not necessarily creating bops and jams and flows for
Right.
people to get and enjoy. So this next lineup of my music is going to be touching into some different areas of me and who I am, and it's gonna be lit. That's all I can say. Like, it's gonna be real lit. Like, be
So
on the
you
lookout for
say
that.
you in a better creative space these days now, mentally.
Yes, definitely in a better creative space, which took some time to get here because of anxiety and depressive moments, and I just feel like COVID for some
Thank
people
you, thank you.
kind of allow some people to get in creative spaces and
Right.
build, and it didn't necessarily do that for me. Like, I had a lot of things planned and lined up for me and my solo career before the pandemic. I mean, like, I was getting ready to go on tour, and then the pandemic hit and had to cancel everything. Like, I want to say my first show was getting ready to go, tour was getting ready to start, and the first day of the tour, getting ready to go somewhere to go showcase. We was actually going to showcase in, where was it? I forget where.
That's really dope.
I forget where we were showcasing at, but our very first show was like, it was some major event, and we saw that the NBA canceled a game, and I was like, whoa. Like, this is the NBA. I'm just JJ Jones. Like, I'm not. Something gotta. We might have to revisit this. Like, that's a little bit scary. So
you missed the $1 million on the plaque.
Yeah, we ended up having
$1 million on the plaque.
$1 million on the plaque.
Stupid.
We ain't stopping, y'all. Y'all see that?
Okay.
Y'all see that?
We ended up having to cancel that and then cancel everything else from there. So it kind of put me in a really, really low state. Just like feeling like, damn, I kind of feel like I came this far. I've done all this work. I've done, my due deals. And now I'm having to start over, which is very, very frustrating. But also, I'm looking at it as this is me being able to give myself new light. So I'm trying to view my glass half full these days and not half empty. So yeah, creating new music and starting over and rebranding, in a sense, that's going to be a major thing for me. That's what's new. That's what's happening.
That's fire.
What's coming.
That's dope. Bro, ain't we in breast cancer awareness month, right?
Right.
Yes.
Cancer Awareness Month. Shout out to all of the women, cancer and breast cancer survivors, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to my sister, Belinda.
Shout out.
5-year anniversary,
Big sis.
cancer free.
Okay. Shout out to Belinda. Shout out to my sister-in-law, Nana. Shout out to those people that we've lost to any forms of cancer.
For real.
Prayers and blessings to them.
I always say F cancer. I'm not gonna curse
To the
on it.
families
But,
and
I want to say this about this podcast. I also like that we have not used any vulgarity. I have not cursed once.
Right.
An hour, and I told my
we
mom
should try to be
yes. I told my
professional.
mom, I can't. We're gonna be professional and use our vocabulary that we got from our educations.
Education.
Yes. So I was telling my mom, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I said, I'm not supposed to curse on this podcast, and you know how I give it up. Like,
I was trying to keep it a clean platform. That way people of all genres, all types can come together and understand and feel, just more comfortable about it. However, we are going to be at the after hour
Okay.
on Instagram. On Instagram at the gw.anxiety.talks or the after hour. We'll be together.
_after hour.
At the after hour. It's the after hour. You heard? We're gonna be there where y'all can talk the way, feel free and, turn up. It's gonna be a celebration, especially for this podcast. For those of you just joining us, JJ Jones has been dropping gems, jewels, talk us through life with living and with experiences of dealing with anxiety and etc. to uplifting us. We're dropping a milli on the plaque behind them. You know what I mean? With dope people. Get in tune, man. This man's got walkthrough, digital wave. Why you mad? You know what I mean? If you ain't hear it or seen it, then you mad. You got to let them know why you ain't mad. Watch that, support, show love.
And he got $1 million. He got a million view.
A million. Yo, look, we got to change your name from the show. When you do part 2, we need you to come back with the a milli on the name.
Oh, look, that's over $1 million. Because you can't
over $1 million. Over $1 million.
Excuse me.
Right.
You can't get a plaque. You can't get a plaque just at $1 million.
The plaque is for reaching $1 million.
That was different type of talk.
Reaching 1 million versus surpassing 1 million.
Got you.
But, yeah,
Got you.
Over 1 million.
Got you.
While you up on that ladder, don't forget the little people like us down here, baby. Remember us.
Look,
we from the block.
Yo, y'all not even the little people. I'm on y'all platform. Y'all not the little people.
We appreciate it, man, because yo, I want to celebrate. We celebrate all our successful brothers and sisters that we came up with. You know, we used to come up in an era where we would glorize and be glorified by the people we don't know. Like, I'm gonna just use an example, so please don't beat me up in the comments. So I would say, like, oh yeah, I love Jay's, he's the best. Woo woo. I love, you know what I mean, people I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm a fan, right. Yes, but I would rather utilize, if I'm gonna give that energy to the people I do know, who's just as becoming a mogul as the next. And I want to celebrate our people, and I want to do it right, especially if you know them. Yo, hate can cost you your life. Love costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to show love, to repost, to like, to share, to subscribe. Especially when you're sitting in the presence of greatness. My boy got a milli. Put some respect on his name. Come on now. Y'all got me turning into flex. I'm ready to toss the hat.
I was gonna say, look, you over here dropping bombs.
I'm ready to throw the hat.
Bombs. We got to get the bomb for the next show. We got to drop bombs.
I feel like I'm definitely humbled, and like I really appreciate just being appreciated. Like,
no doubt, and that's what it's about.
You said support goes a long way. It doesn't really take much. I literally, I'm sorry, I'm anybody's cheerleader, just because I know how hard it is. Like it's hard to even put yourself out there with social media, with people tearing you down every 5 minutes. Like, it's hard to put yourself out there in these platforms, in these lights, to where people see, because people see one thing and misjudge, like, or people think one thing and misjudge. Like, you don't know me from a post, you don't know me from a picture, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've had a conversation here, you don't know me, so like, even people who know me, like, we've been in spaces with like personal settings, personal intimate settings. You don't know me. Like, if I don't allow you to be within this sort of a space, like if I don't open up to you like this, then how can you say that you actually know? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, this is definitely a beautiful thing. I'm happy to see episode 10 through 1 million, and I plan to see y'all.
We on 9. We're gonna get to 10.
I want y'all to not forget about the little people when y'all podcast is coming through there, because it's going.
I love y'all. I appreciate it, and I love it. Is there anything that you think you might have forgot to say, that you want to say to your fans, to the people who just joined the community and became a family with us, to just anything that you think you left out that you want to say?
I want to say,
tell them you back.
I'm back like I never left. That's what
back.
I really want to say.
Put some respect on his name.
Yeah, tell him I'm back. I'm back like I never left.
Back with the pressure, man.
Back with the pressure, like heavy on the pressure. Foot on the gas, no brakes. Like I'm ready to go. Like I'm ready.
Before we do, break down all your platforms, like for people to be able to reach you, all your social media platforms. Let the people know.
Social media platforms. You can find me on all social media platforms at Just JJ Jones. That's JUSJJ Jones. That's YouTube. That's Spotify. That's any streaming platform.
Where can they buy your product at? Your deodorant?
You can buy my product directly through me. I would say you can go directly through me. I would actually prefer that you go through Shop the Pink Zebra Boutique on Instagram, because
get that.
That would look a lot better if you guys did it that way. There are 6 cents available for you.
Yo, I just want to let you know that you're a genius for that, man. That's a dope idea, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There's 6 different scents.
My boy, a mogul.
One natural flavored. You got cinnamon, eucalyptus, tutti frutti, big booty Judy. You got the eucalyptus the make you nuts
Coconut.
coconut. You can lick this eucalyptus. Love on me lavishly lavender, and the real McCoy, which is naturally scented. That's actually not product with confectionery sugar. So like that's also recommended for like kids because you can use that they can use versus to giving a kid a deodorant, like an actual stick of deodorant that's filled with products and chemicals and things of that nature. So I have friends who use it. It is actually named after a friend of mine's son. It's actually named after my friend's last name, Sadie. Sai.
Say it again.
Sadie. Sai Davis.
Okay, Sadie, I think.
Sadie from the hood.
Got you.
Y'all can follow her on YouTube. She's also a motivational speaker. That is my.
Let's get it. Shout out to Sadie.
Yeah, that product, the natural deodorant, is named after her son because her son uses my deodorant. So I just named it. His doesn't come. He ordered his personally, so I named it after him. Like, so it's called The Real McCoy. Yeah, and you can follow me on all social media platforms. You can purchase through me directly. I mean, on the go. Like I said, a zillion and one things to think about, a zillion and one things to do, but channeling and chiming on.
That's what's up. Yo, you ready to hit him with the quote of the day?
I am. Right before I do that, I just want to say for those of you tuning into the GW_anxiety_talks podcast show, if you loving and feeling this episode, this is episode 9, people, with our special guest JJ Jones doing his thing. Please, people, vote it in, write in the comments later on below. We'll review him. Let's try to get this brother back in. If we could get him for part 2, tag his name. Get him in below. Also, we're going to be at the after hour shortly, to be honest. For those of you wanting to capture this video, this video that's going to be on GW, please hear me correctly. This video that you see right now on the live will not be posted as seen on the live. It will be posted, but it will be reposted, which brings all of us even closer. So that way you can get a better camera view or angle on what we're doing. But all audio will be on all platforms from iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, you name it, you pick, it will be there. Within the next 2 hours, all platforms, baby, all with a capital A. But you can catch us at the after hour. Right now, we're gonna get into the quote of the day. D Hayes, take us away with the quote of the day.
Quote of the day is: overthinking is not a disease. It is due to the underuse of your creative power.
Hit him one more time with it.
I was gonna say, yeah, do that one more time.
One more time for y'all.
One more time.
Overthinking is not a disease. It is due to the underuse of your creative power.
Which means
just go. Now, overthinking. Don't overthink. Just go. Get something started. You know what I mean? You will make mistakes, but at least you made the move. You know, overthinking and keep you stationary. You know what I mean?
My quote of the day is: anxiety does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows, but only empties today of its strengths. It's my quote of the day. So one last time is: anxiety does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows, but only empties today of its strengths. A little deeper. I like yours better. Now that we in there,
I'm gonna give you.
Let's get it.
I'm gonna give you the. I'm gonna give you a quote of mine.
First time we get a guest, give us a quote. This is new.
It's focus on your focus.
Say that again.
There you go.
Focus on your focus.
That's what I'm talking about.
Go.
Focus
it's
on
simple,
your focus.
But it's not simple. It's simple, but it's not. Focus on your focus.
That's a bar. That's a bar of mine.
Hey D, hit us with the mental help.
Mental health help. Mental help. I got it. Mentalhelp.com is an online counseling website The suicide hotline is 988. They will connect you to a trained counselor with existing Lifeline.
Call the suicide hotline numbers in the U.S. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. 1-800-273-8255. Use the same number and press 7 to reach the Veterans Crisis Line. Reach out to a close friend or loved one. Contact a minister, spiritual leader, or someone else in your youth faith community. Also, little promotion moment here. Public gift here. Link best.publicgift.com. Raising awareness, mental health, breast cancer, autism, suicide prevention, save the bees, save the planet, eating disorder, addiction recovery. The promote is in capitals. Mental, number 25. You get 25% off of all your mental health purchases. There you have it, folks. This is definitely sponsored by GW_Anxiety Talks. Don't forget to go cop the merch. I'm your boy, Nate. That's my co-host, D. Hayes. Our guest, JJ Jones. We going to the after hour, Don't meet us there, beat us there. Don't meet us there, beat us there. Okay. By the way, if you want anything from any products or anything you heard today from JJ Jones today, please. He done left all the links in there. Get in tune with this brother. We're going to try to get him for part 2. Vote him in. JJ Jones, thank you for being our special guest of the day. We'll meet you at the after hour.
Y'all will see me there.
See you at the after hour. Yo, it's been a great one. You know the rest. GW. Let's go.